question. Now, Doris, has she been that with you too? Yes. Naughty Daddy couldn't care less. Cyril. Doris, well, I am glad. It's both of us. I thought I would done something wrong. Cyril, so did I. But it's her, of course. Doris, she was smoking and playing cards when I came in. I couldn't believe my eyes. Cyril, I asked her if she was feeling off color and she said she wasn't. Doris, well, she's suddenly all different. And that's what made me cry. It wasn't what she said, but the way she said. Cyril, haven't noticed that. She looks just same to me. Doris, she doesn't to me. Do you think she could have hit her head or something, and got what is it, Cyril, do you mean she's balmy? Now Cyril and Doris both were discussing something. Here he asked Doris if she means that their mother has gone crazy. Doris, no, you faith it. You no concussion. She might have. Cyril, sound far fetched. Far fetched. Doris, well, she's far fetched if you ask me. Cyril, now then, what is it? Doris, if she's going to be like this when dad comes home, Cyril, I am staying in for that two front dress circles for the first house. Doris suggests that she might be in shock after having hit her head somewhere. Cyril thinks that Doris is not being reasonable, with a light-hearted laughter. Doris comments that she is finding her mother to be irrational at the moment. Now Doris indicates what's going to happen when their father sees Mrs. Pearson behave this way. Now Mrs. Pearson enters right, carrying a bottle of stout and a half-filled glass. Cyril and Doris try to stop their guffawing and giggling, but they are not quick enough. Mrs. Pearson regards them with contempt. Now, Mrs. Pearson, you two are always talking about being grown up. Why don't you both try for once to be your age? Cyril, can't we laugh now? Mrs. Pearson, yes, if it's funny. Go on, tell me, make me laugh. I could do with it. Doris, you never understand our jokes, Mum. Now, while the siblings were talking, Mrs. Pearson enters the room with stout. They failed at controlling their laughter. While moving towards the city, she talks about how both of them regard themselves as mature and asks them to behave and be responsible like the people of their age. Cyril asks Mrs. Pearson if she now has an objection to their laughing. She replies that she has no problem with them laughing at something which is funny. She asked them to make her laugh as well by telling her what they were talking about. Doris undermined Mrs. Pearson's ability to understand their jokes. Mrs. Pearson, I was yawning at your jokes before you were born, Doris. Doris, what's making you talk like this? What have we done? Mrs. Pearson, nothing but come in, ask for something, go out again, then come back when there's nowhere else to go. Now, Doris asked her mother the reason behind her behavior. Mrs. Pearson asked that they haven't done much except barging in whenever they want and going out as per their convenience. In between, all they do is make her work all the time, and when they have no other place to go, they come back home. Cyril, look, if you wouldn't get tea ready, then I will find something to eat myself. Mrs. Pearson, why not help yourself? Cyril, mind you, I think it's a bit thick. I have been working all the day. Doris, same here. Mrs. Pearson, 8 hour a day. Cyril, yes, 8 hour day. And don't forget it. Mrs. Pearson, I have done my 8 hours. Cyril, that's different. Doris, of course it is. Mrs. Pearson, it was. Now it isn't. 40-hour week for all now. Just watch it at the weekend when I have my 2 days off. Without losing her cool, she warns them that everything is going to change from now. She will only work for 40 hours a week, just like all of them, and tells them to wait and watch when she takes her weekend off. Now, Doris and Cyril exchange alarmed glances. Then they stare at Mrs. Pearson, who returns their look calmly. Cyril must grab something to eat, looks as if I will need to keep my strength up. Doris, Mummy, you don't mean you are not going to do anything on Saturday and Sunday? Mrs. Pearson, no, I wouldn't go that far. I might make a bed or two, do a bit of cooking as favor, which means, of course, I will have to be asked very nicely and thanked for everything generally made a fuss of. But any of you 40-hour a weekers who accept to be waited on the hand and foot on Saturday and Sunday with no thanks for it are in for a nasty disappointment. Might go off